Welcome back to another SHP case study. Today we have a data hosting services case study. So they provide a specific type of platform that allows their customers, their clients' customers, to then purchase photography, film on their website. So data hosting service reaching out to spectator sport companies, and let's dive into it. So this is an interesting one because I say that for all of them. I say it's an interesting one, but they're all interesting. Every single cold call story is interesting because they're all unique. They all have some type of drama. They all have some type of success. They all have some type of failure at some level. And that's what's nice about these is that they tell a great story that anyone can learn from who is looking to cold call and use it as a viable source. So this one is a consistent producer of appointments. It does seem to range up and down with the overall trend line, but the appointment setting rate is consistent, and so is the lead setting rate. So here at Superhuman, we have an appointment setting rate, which is a specific date and time of an appointment that our client SDRs have set. And we have a lead setting rate, which is appointments, but also includes nurtures and warms. And these are those leads that have been identified as someone who's interested. They're just not ready for that sales appointment yet. So it's meant to really get into the buying cycle of the prospect without ever really hurting the relationship there by forcing an appointment or nothing on them. So these are ones that can be of benefit later. They can bear fruit later on. So this was this was a customer of ours that we worked with who was with us several campaigns before deciding to go in-house. But essentially, they have a digital platform that gives companies, sports businesses, those types of businesses that have sports clubs and where there's photographers involved, so that they can add photos and videos to their specific website and allow folks to then purchase those photos so that they can benefit from the event that they held. So our goal was to reach out to the folks in the C-suite of these spectator sports companies and engage them in conversation to make sure that this would make sense to talk about further, and really just talk about how to monetize photos and videos that are taken at their events. So it would just be a phone call appointment, so a very easy date and time to call, and that was the main goal for us. So if we look at the script, we have three types of script. We have a consultative, we have a no-bull script, and we also have a survey script. The consultative conversation is the one we typically default to because we're usually calling people who are behind a desk, who have time. And so we usually go through a statement, question format in the consultative, and that's what this specific client did as well. So the account manager saw that was the best fit for this campaign. And so we opened up with a statement, a little bit of an introduction to who we are, and maybe a light benefit to really kind of pique their ear, pique their interest. And then we asked a honing question, and that honing question here is, do you currently sell digital images and prints to your guests? And so once we get into that conversation, we can then dive deeper into the value, ask some discovery questions to reopen the conversation, and then ask for a 15-minute call at a later time. And so the results on this campaign, on this project rather, because we had multiple campaigns within it, we had a lower DM connect rate. This was a harder one to get those decision makers on the phone. Our average is about 8%, and this was about half. So we had a 0.73. That's the reason for a slightly lower appointment setting rate overall. However, what's positive about that is that once we got someone on the phone, they were relatively interested, right? Our average is typically a 15% ASR in DM connects or DM convos. And this one we had an 18%, right? So that's about one every 5 or so conversations, 5 to 6, which is pretty good percentage. Right? About one every 5 or 6 people that you speak to were ready for an appointment, which can make this a very valuable type of channel for generating leads and appointments. And the lead setting rate was good too. It was at 2%. So about 1 in every 50 calls, we were able to get, a lead. A lead is a appointment, or it was a nurture or warm. So someone who is open to more information. So if you see the lead setting rate, it was very consistent. It ranged between a 1% and a 3% at all times. So we were always getting nurtures and warms. And the reason why you want to have nurtures and warms, because especially part of our H method, we want to drive performance, okay, with these campaigns. But we never, as high as possible, but we don't ever want to lose trust with the prospects. So we're looking to always get that highest result we're looking for. But if the prospect isn't ready, then we drop down to a nurture or warm, someone who's maybe just open to some information or a callback, but just not at a specific date and time. So we don't lose that trust with them and try to force something that's not ready. If you look at the bottom graph here, you'll see that we had an increase overall in DM connect rate and a fairly consistent appointment setting rate. It ranged from about 0.4 to 1.2, and that's where we kind of averaged out at that 0.73. There might be some factors in there that we could look at deeper, to see why exactly it's falling. It could be the caller might not connect quite as well as others. It could be the messaging, slightly tweaking that. It also could be the specific industry that was called into. Maybe some spectator sports industries and some geographical locations aren't necessarily going to be as receptive as others. But overall, we were getting appointments on every campaign. And this is one that, you can look at cold calling as a viable channel and say, hey, people are responsive. Let's consistently tweak. Let's see where there's places that we can improve, and this is something that over the long term, I would be confident that we could see increased results because we're able to look at the process, look at what's going on, and then make those improvements. So consistent campaign that we see here, and happy to talk more if you have any questions about this or other campaigns here that we've done at SHP. Are you a company that wants to grow their sales pipeline but don't know how to do it outside of cold email, inbound, and normal channels? Consider SHP. We provide cold call appointment setting and sales development services to generate leads and appointments outbound for your sales pipeline so you can have control over your sales destiny. Give us a call at the number provided or reach out to us in any way, and we're happy to chat with you about how we can cold call and generate leads so that you don't have to. Be excited to do the work for you and can't wait to hear from you.